Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Chairman. My name is Andrew Libman, president of the Libman Company in Arcola, Illinois. I'm one of the manufacturers that Mark was talking about here in the state of Illinois. We've been in business since 1896, family-owned business, fourth generation. We're in Chicago up until the 1930s, moved to Tuscola in the 1950s, and eventually down to Arcola. So we've been there for quite some time, really been committed to the state of Illinois, manufacturing in the United States. While other companies have moved to China over the past 20 years, my father told me we're going to stay in the United States, and it's worked out very well for us, actually. We employ about 600 to 700 employees. That's grown from about 150 in the mid-90s. About 80% of our employees are factory manufacturing type positions. 40% are female, 55% are Hispanic and minority type positions. About 60% of our labor hours fall in that $11 to $15 minimum wage bracket. So when that passed, certainly a concern for us. And then with the progressive income tax potentially coming on, I think we're obviously further concerned. I think that's why I've come today. We have a 1.4 million square foot facility. We've continually invested in Illinois. It's all centrally located in Illinois. We don't have manufacturing locations in other states. So we really count on the state of Illinois to provide all of our labor, and it has a major impact on our company. Also want to just, a small fact is we actually recycle 172 million water bottles every year for our broom fibers. So all of our broom fibers are made out of recycled water bottles. We buy crushed water bottle flakes and extrude the fibers. So a lot of environmental sustainability there as well. In addition to the minimum wage and the progressive income tax being proposed, we're also concerned about our lack of competitiveness in Illinois versus other states. I've never done any research on this before, except when this has come up in the past 60 days. Really learned a lot about Indiana, Wisconsin, Texas, and what some of the other states are doing to try to attract companies there. And Texas is one that certainly stands out. The population growth there, so much manufacturing is moving there as well. So. Certainly something we haven't paid attention to at all, but something we've kind of been forced to learn about. The type of jobs that we have: packers, assemblers, forklift drivers, material handlers, machine operators. People can come in at a starting wage, in that $11 to $15 bracket, but eventually they work their way up, with commitment to the company and a desire to be successful. We looked at the state of Texas, looked at their wage increases over the past 5 years to today, and applied that same percentage increase over the next 5 years, and they're still going to be significantly below $15 an hour, in the $13 an hour range. So that's a big difference, between the state of Illinois and Texas in terms of manufacturing. And this was mentioned earlier, but being an S-corp, the profits of our company filter down and show up on our individual tax returns, but that doesn't necessarily mean we take that money out of the business or we take that money home. We reinvest that money in the business through heavy investment machinery, equipment, buildings. So a higher tax is going to really limit us in terms of that continual investment to continue to grow the business and invest in our employees. A big reason we grew from 150 to 700 employees is because we continually reinvested in the business. So if manufacturers are willing to make that commitment to keep investing dollars, that's really how you grow the employee base, increase payroll taxes. The mindset should be really growth, not looking at a finite number of people and businesses here. We're going to take more from them, but how do we get more businesses here and more people here and grow the overall base? I think that's the answer to how we get out of the difficulties in the state. And I think that's a very business approach. In business, we can't stand still. Most businesses are either going forward or backwards, or you're getting run over. So we always have to be proactive and thinking, how can we grow to get to the next level? And just to hit again on the competitiveness with other states, states are offering aggressive 10-year abatements on real estate taxes, 70 to 100%. Our real estate taxes are very high. Every time we put up a new building, whether it's a factory building, an office building, it adds to our real estate taxes. Other states are offering abatements on their personal property tax, so machinery, equipment, buildings. There's a lot of incentives out there to come to states and get into manufacturing. And manufacturing is highly desired In my conversations with some other counties, they talked about manufacturing being more desirable than distribution because the wages are potentially higher there. So that was new to me, but something I was very pleased to hear being a manufacturer. There are a lot of other grants out there in other states, city, county, state. They're really trying to attract businesses to their states, and we're showing savings in the tens of millions of dollars in years 1 to 10 by moving to a state like Texas. And I'm just using that as an example. And then years 11 to 20, there's still a substantial savings, although not as much because there aren't as many incentives. I think the biggest thing for us as a manufacturer is the capital investment, the machinery, the equipment, the building. It's a highly capital-intensive business. You continually have to reinvest in that. So, looking forward down the road, I think tax credits that would apply to capital expenditures would be extremely helpful. A company that is making a capital investment is really making a statement that we're staying here. They're buying machinery, they're buying buildings, they're making a commitment to the state and grow the number of employees. There should really be incentives given to those types of companies to stay and help grow the overall Illinois tax base. Thank you very much, and free to answer any questions.